Hello and welcome to the Crackpot podcast with James LaFond and Lynn Lockhart. This is episode 2 of our podcast. We taped this episode on June 16th. Hello again, James. We had our first podcast conversation yesterday, and we're going to do a little bit more today because it was so much fun.
How many do you think that we'll break up into? What do you think you're looking at lengthwise for your Crackpot podcast?
I was thinking in the neighborhood of 15 to 20 minutes segments, so probably 3 to 4, let's say.
Oh, okay. So it'll be in that Vice length.
Yeah.
How they do the documentaries for the stoner leftoids. Okay, cool.
Well, do you think that your listeners would like longer segments?
No, they're not leftoids, but the other part might apply to some of them. So we're probably good keeping in the 15 to 20 minute range. I know Oliver told me for videos that he posts on Facebook, they're now looking at under 1 minute for any type of video as the preferred length.
Wow.
It's almost like the attention span is now based on Worldstar bus fights.
or like just a TV commercial. Like that's all I got,
That's probably where it comes from.
Yeah, I want to watch one commercial. And I've noticed on Facebook that many of the videos have subtitles as well, which, you don't want to...
Really?
Yeah, because what if you don't want to turn your sound on? They'll put some subtitles there so you can just kind of scroll through, and either that or they're just... I haven't friended Oliver on Facebook, but I get a lot of recipe videos.
Okay, but... See if I got this right.
Yeah.
If you have two hoes banging each other in the head on a bus, and somebody is world starring this on their smartphone, and it gets pasted on, the video goes up on Facebook.
Yeah.
Is there a computer software that's translating their ebonics, and will it be correct?
Maybe not. I would imagine by now that there are automated translations, or I guess you could say caption software. I don't know, but it's really hard to get it. I would imagine it would be really hard to get it to do any kind of non-standard English or slang.
Well, that could be even better if you could see the King's English printed underneath of these two. That would be really a translation. That would be a dual language broadcast.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm thinking
like
more
that.
of it just depends who your Facebook friends are, because I don't get any Worldstar in my feed. I get I get a lot of animal rescue videos saying, oh, this dog was found half starved in the junkyard, and shows the rehabilitation of the poor animal there. So that's what my Facebook provides to me.
Oh, okay. I can't get on my Facebook because I quit Facebook, and Bart set up this Facebook thing for me, and it started screaming at me to join, and I don't want to join. So I can get on there for about 2 seconds, see how many likes I've lost or gained.
Yeah.
And I kind of just get kicked off this big, become a Facebook person.
Right.
Chasing me away.
They don't want you browsing without joining.
I understand that. And my experience with being on Facebook was so horrible, I don't want it to happen again. I mean, it was... Sure, there was some guy that was asking me boxing questions, and, all his friends pop up. And apparently he's a boxer from Barcelona or something, and his friends were all these ring card girls and strippers.
Of course.
And one of them contacts me and says, "Do you like me?" And I look at this picture, and I can't even speak her language, but I definitely like her. So I said, "Yeah, I like you."
Oh,
Okay,
see,
so I
that's
like.
really dangerous.
Well,
Anybody can go and get a picture of an attractive young lady and create an account that makes it look like that's you.
okay.
And then, oh, James, I want to come visit you. I need your credit card number. It's, something like this. And then you're in trouble.
Yeah, I had some Russian chick tried that on me before. It was probably pictures of his little sister that he kept locked in the closet or something.
Oh, yeah.
It's probably some guy that would just come here and beat me up and take my stuff.
Right.
But I joined Facebook, whatever you friend your cousin, however that works. I friended my cousin from San Francisco, who's a landscaper, and she emails me. She said, "Could I please, when I get on Facebook, could I please not see ass?" I was like, "What?" She's like, "Well, apparently you have a friend that's a stripper in Barcelona, and every time I get on Facebook with my 10-year-old, her giant ass shows up on the screen." I was like, "Okay, I'm done." And then what the real killer was is when I joined, I had to give a location where I was born, and I was writing the extraterrestrial anthropologist book at the time, so I put it as Machu Picchu. Now, and I spelled it correctly. I knew how it was spelled. And I even checked in one of my books to make sure I spelled it right. And this same cousin, she married a dude named Pedro, who actually saved the Japanese president of Peru from a gunman one time.
Whoa.
He was on his security detail. Real big. It looks like he could have been the champion Inca wrestler that Alonzo Diaz wrestled, like 500 years ago. He's a real big guy named Pedro. He's a great guy. And he took offense to the fact that Machu Picchu was misspelled on my Facebook page, and I looked at it, and it had changed the spelling. Oh. And I talked to my webmaster about it. He said, "That's social media. That's what it does. So many people have misspelled that word that is now the spelling, and it will correct your spelling." And I was like, "Oh, I'm done. I mean, this is, no." So I just get me off of this thing, and I've never been on again. I appreciate Bart making me a Facebook page so that when people get upset with me, they have a place to go and disapprove and give me the down and like me.
Yeah. We love hate mail. I'm in favor of hate mail. I think it's really entertaining. Have you had any recently? I think you should.
I don't read my comments anymore. I don't have enough time.
No, but there's none in I haven't seen any in your comments. I'm thinking a really motivated hater that wrote you a real email. Like the cop.
I've had a few. That was probably about the worst. There was a lady whose husband was a cop who debated me very politely, and I think I just upset her. I hope her husband wasn't one of those Chicago cops who committed suicide.
Oh,
I feel really bad.
Yeah.
But the worst thing I've ever gotten as far as a comment was I reviewed, and it's still up there, way back. I reviewed Louis L'Amour's novel about the American Indian fighter pilot that gets shot down over Siberia. Last of the Breed. So it's about this Yakut Siberian guy tracking this guy that was like a Blackfoot Indian or something like that, and so it was pretty cool. There was one part where he switched perspectives like 3 times in one scene, which I disapproved of. I just thought it was cheap. The guy could write better than that.
Yeah.
And I think one of his loyalists read it and just gave me an FU. So that is proudly displayed like 5 years ago. The comment feed for my website. It's still up there if you want to check out my review of Last of the Breed. That's about all I can remember.
I don't know how you do all these types of analyses with lots of data and you just do it manually. It's kind of insane. So just to say, like, for the boxing book, The Greatest Boxer, you have all these metrics that you...
Well, somebody with a real functional math brain actually did most of the work for me.
Okay. Okay.
What I did was add. Okay, I assigned values to getting knocked out was worth half a point. Knocking somebody out, I think, was worth 5 points, something like that. Okay, it was like a 10-1.
Right.
And I just went through, after I assigned these values, I went through all of the fighters' records and I added them up. I was adding these up, and then I would take them to Steve, and this guy, even after he showed me how to do things with a calculator, he does it quicker in his head than I could with a calculator. We did it 3 ways. He thought that counting everything they did in the ring was giving too much credit to guys that maybe fought too much and didn't have really great results. And I thought that that giving too much credit to the guy that was undefeated was really distorting too, because this is usually a very carefully managed guy who avoids fighting the best men of his generation. Right. Rocky Marciano didn't stick around and fight Sonny Liston. Michael Spinks, he avoided a lot of really tough guys, and when he ended up fighting somebody that was a really tough guy, he just got squashed in like 116 seconds. So what we did, and I don't remember how he did it because I can't think this way, we did both of those numbers. Mm-hmm. And then we did, he generated another one by combining those 2 methods. So we actually had 3 different numbers, and for the final score, we took the third one. So we really have a work rate number, which Sam Langford scores the highest on that. Then we had the quality outcome number, your wins versus your losses. So, of course, an undefeated guy scores huge on that. And then you have some pretty obscure fighters finish way at the top. You'd have guys like Lennox Lewis and Michael Spinks, who we know today, but they're obscure in the big scheme of things, finish way up the top. We noticed that Joe Gans was in the top 10 on both tracks. I still don't understand how that could even work, but it did, and he double-checked it for him. So then when we combine those 2 numbers together, Joe Gans ends up way up at the top. One of the places it gets distorted, Ray Robinson won his first 100 fights, or it might have been his first 120 or 25 fights.
Wow.
But he fought 15 years past his prime. Mm-hmm. So he ends up with like 24 losses out of 200 and some fights. When you try to compare him to a guy who fought carefully selected opposition and only had 30 fights, you imagine that. You have to redo this guy's career 4 times before you even get to Ray Robinson losing his first fight.
Wow.
But if you're just going a ratio of wins to losses, then this guy looks a lot better than Ray Robinson, when in reality, Ray Robinson beat up 100 dudes like him.
Yeah.
Before he even had a loss, and then he beat that guy 6 times. So I thought that a lot of it had to take into account quality of opposition. So like him fighting Jake LaMotta, that was 7 fights for both of them with a Hall of Fame guy. And those were also championship fights. So they both get extra credit for that.
James, I'm sorry to cut you short, but I'm getting interrupted here.
That's all right.
But I think it's a good topic, and we could probably come back to it because it's interesting. It kind of compares to like sabermetrics for baseball. I would be really surprised if anybody else has done any kind of similar analysis to that.
The one thing, Steve, the guy that did these numbers for me, he's a huge baseball fan. He just loves it because it's a numbers sport.
Exactly, yeah.
He's a real math geek. And, so I can't even I can't even recall the method he used, but said there's 3 ways of working these numbers, and, the third way is going to be a blend of the 2.
All right. Thank you for listening to episode 2 of the Crackpot podcast with James LaFond and Lynn Lockhart.